So, Joe, let's talk about people who are in jobs and who are thinking down the road. Is this job going anywhere? I can't seem to get ahead.
Yeah.
What do I do? Do I just ride it out?
Well,
Do
that's
I
easy,
just
Hank.
bail out? I mean, what to do?
Yeah.
What are the options?
Excuse me. Well, there are many choices, and all of those are available, right? You can, let's sort of break those down a little bit. I mean, I can I can stay doing what I'm doing, and I might be okay. But if you have that anxiety and that fear, you can leave totally. You can literally walk away from employment and start your own thing in your own franchise or in your own business and make that happen for yourself. But most people won't do that. I mean, it's a lot easier to play in the playground of what you've got
Right.
than to go and find a new
Especially if you
playground.
haven't been kicked out yet.
Yeah, and you know what traps many people on? You know what they're waiting for? It's really fascinating. My severance.
Right. The golden handcuffs.
Yeah, like I remember I walked away from a career where I'd been 18 years in the oil industry,
Yes.
and but I walked away because I couldn't do it anymore, and I was waiting for the severance,
Right.
and it wasn't coming, or I was too good at what I do. They liked me too
Right.
much, I guess. But so I didn't do that. But now what happens is there are other alternatives that are available for people, and it's a lot safer. So what we start seeing, David, is people are contemplating business ownership while being employed.
Good idea.
It is a good idea, and there are many alternatives, and there's challenges. Like you'll see things like examples often in the food industry where you own a place and you got a manager, so you manage the manager in those environments. But the food industry, I mean, I like the food industry, but it can be more time consuming and take you away more from the job than your involvement in it, depending how your family's geared to handle it. And the other option then is finding something that is just straight manage the manager, 10 to 15 hours per week, maybe more, real estate based. And what you're trying to do is build that retail empire or whatever that is in a semi-absent opportunity.
Right.
Now think what happens, David. Now you decide your exit strategy, right? 3, 4 years down the road,
Right.
and you're making X, and you probably have more than replaced your salary.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense to.
And it's safe.
Right.
And it's fascinating. So the real challenge you've got there is about picking the right brand, picking the right opportunity, and one that. And you know what's interesting about them is they tend to be not necessarily the most exciting style businesses. I mean, you won't wake up and go jump out of bed every day that this is what I'm going to be doing. But what you are doing is securing your future down the road. It's fascinating. Just sort of linking back, there was a gentleman that had triplets, 13 years old. What do you think the biggest fear in his life was?
Well,
Education.
they'd all find boyfriends at the same time.
Yeah, that would be. It may well be. That would probably happen. But he was looking at a situation that, in his world, that he was going to have 3 children going to college or university at the same time.
Yeah.
Now he had a good job, but he didn't have enough. He's not making enough money to send 3 kids to school at the same time.
Yeah.
So he's investing in teaching golf and sports and music, and hopefully one of them will get scholarships. And we put together a strategy for him that was really fascinating. I think you'll like this. Whereby what we did is took the semi-absent business opportunity and started to get our first business. He was working. He assigned that business to the first child of a name. And then second year, he opened his second facility, and he assigned that to another one of the triplets. And the third year, we'll open his third business, and he'll have his third child. And what he ended up doing was funding, while being employed, his education fund. So the children were managers of those facilities, which in turn paid for their education. And in the process of that, he's planning to take out an operating fee for running the business, which his wife does, by the way.
Right.
And
That's a very innovative approach.
well, yeah, he was just floored when we talked about it and how the strategy would work. And what happens at the end of it, after they all are all through college and all through the business is written in such a way that they vest back to him, and he can retire.
Wow, very clever.
Well, it was an interesting strategy and an approach that you can. Those are some of the options, but people don't tend to think that way. You know, they tend to be so focused on just the job, right, and the challenges that happen there.
Right.
So it's fascinating.